Hi, I'm Jennifer. Welcome to Salento. And today's video is on, do you need a car in Italy? So I get this question a lot. I get a lot of car questions. How do you buy a car? Can I buy a car? Should I buy a car? Are cars expensive? How much is insurance? How much is all of the other things that are associated with cars? And you should answer the question, do you need a car in the first place? So it can be yes and no. In in the summer, when we're traveling to the beach a lot and doing things like that, it's very helpful to have a car, or else you're have to find, a taxi cab or someone else that you can get a ride to the beach with, because you'll find once you meet people and they might have rented a car, or you could probably do that, or get a bus because there are buses. It's helpful to have a car. But do you actually need a car? And the first thing I'm going to say is no, you don't need a car. I guess it depends on what town you settle in. In our town, we were there from February until May, and we had no car. So we walked to the supermarket. We walked to the laundromat to do laundry because our place didn't have laundry at the time. Later on, they added laundry. I think they felt sorry for us because they saw us walking in the rain with all of our laundry. But if you have to do laundry, you can walk to it. Supermarkets, restaurants, bars, shops, pretty much everything that you need, you can walk to get. We just got great shopping bags. We walked everywhere. No one walks in our town. It's very rare to see people walking. They always knew that we were American because we walked everywhere. We walked the country road. We walked to the supermarket. We walked to restaurants. Even at night, we would walk to the restaurant and walk home. I mean, it was a good habit to get into because it kept us really active, and you didn't rely on the car. Plus, you could have that extra glass of wine if you want. You don't have to worry about driving home, right? So we did walk everywhere. Pastry shops, there's market on every town has a market one day of the week, and our town was Thursday, and we would walk there with our bags, shop, and you could find pretty much anything at the market. We found furniture, clothing you can get, shoes, housewares, cheese, meat, anything, prepared foods. There was someone who was preparing chickens, and they would come with their big chicken cooking truck and say, "Oh, we have the best chicken in all of Salento." And it was, I mean, everything's delicious and beautiful looking. So you don't even have to cook that day. You can buy something and bring it home and eat that, and get your vegetables, and even furniture like sofas and beds and mattresses. Someone came with a truck and they had all of this, furniture out, and people were buying furniture pieces, tables, things like that, and chairs, tables and chair sets. So there's a lot that you can find at those markets if you can't get out to a big store, but you can still get taxi cabs. You can get buses to, if you once you learn the route, you can take those things to busier places, or just get a taxi and hire it for the day. There are uh, malls called centro commerciale, and they're big malls, so they'll have a supermarket in them, and then they'll have all kinds of shops. So just like you would have a regular mall in the US with a supermarket on the end of it, this is the same idea. And there are some that are not far at all from the towns. They're pretty, there's scattered around, so you don't have to go travel far distance to go to them. And you could probably just get a ride or get a taxi, drop you off, and then call a taxi to bring you back, and do all of your shopping there at once. Because those have the big supermarkets where you can find lots and lots of things that you usually can't find at the smaller markets, and they're nice to go to once in a while. They have great sales and things like that. So when you want to go to cities, so from us, we could take the train to Lecce, that train ride is maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and they run all day. So, say you're in a town that's connected by train and you can get to Lecce. That is not a long trip at all, and you don't need a car to drive there. It's actually probably better if you don't have a car because of parking. Big city, sometimes it's really hard to find parking, and you just don't have to worry about that hassle. Just remember where the train station is, and when you're done for the day, make sure you check the train times so you don't get stranded, and then you can go back to your town. We walk to gyms also. Every day that we would go to the gym, we would walk there. We never drove unless it was really, really bad weather. Excuse me, we would drive, but we would walk. And that was great too. So we got a little warm up. And then when we were done, we would go stop at the coffee shop with our friends, and we didn't have to worry about parking or doing any of that. So there are a lot of things that are nearby, um, everyday conveniences that you don't have to take a car. It's not like the United States where you really need a car to go pretty much anywhere, unless you do live in a city where everything is close by. But all of these towns are pretty much self-sufficient, so they have everything that you really need in them. Um, from Lecce, so if you have a town that has a train station, and that would be an important choice, right? If you were looking in a town, does it have a train station? Because we might not want to get a car, or we might not want to drive everywhere if we don't have to sometimes. You can take that train to Lecce, and from Lecce, you can go all over Italy. So that is the last stop, main stop on the train line. And you can go to Rome and up north, and wherever that train is going to take you, just, buy your tickets, plan the route, and you can go anywhere. So you don't need to have a car to go to Rome, to go to Naples, to go to those places. As long as they're connected by train, you can just hop on the train and go. And the train pass is very reasonable. It's not an expensive thing to purchase, especially if you are buying it as an American. If you buy it with an Italian address, it's more expensive. So use your US address, do it like you're traveling as a tourist, and purchase that train pass. And then it's a lot less expensive. I think you can buy a month at a time, and you can have an unlimited monthly pass, and you can do traveling all over the place. Um, we had our bicycles when we first arrived, and we didn't have our car, but we didn't feel so isolated. We didn't feel stranded, because even though, we weren't going to take the train yet, we weren't ready for that. We weren't familiar with how the system worked or any of that. We just got on our bicycles and we traveled everywhere that we could reach with our bikes. We went down south. We went to both coasts. We went to lots of different towns, connecting towns in between. Some of them we said, oh, those have really great roads. We'll go through them again. Some of them we said, oh, they need to fix the roads. We're not going to go through there again until, the roads get fixed, because with the road bikes, you need to be a little picky about where you ride. But generally, we didn't have a problem riding anywhere. So if you didn't have a road bicycle, or if you had a bike, that maybe a cross bike would be a great option, that it would take you through the towns. And then if you did want to go off the beaten path a little bit, a cross bike would really be able to take you there. So that would be a good option if you didn't want to have a car, is to have bicycles. That, yeah, I can't drive, I don't want to purchase a car, or I don't want to, be bogged down, hassled with all of that insurance and how do I buy it and all that kind of stuff. Don't get one. Just get some bicycles, and you can just leave them in your house and you don't have to worry about them. And then when you come back, if you purchase, right, you can leave your bikes there. Then when you come back, you'll have your automatic transportation built in. You don't have to get a parking spot or anything, pay for parking or nothing, no tickets, none of that stuff. Also, another thing to know is that if you're not a resident of the centro, like, you can't get a ZTL pass. So that closed area that's inside the centro, if you're in a big city or a big town and you're living in the middle, but you're not going to be resident there, you can't get that pass. So you really can't even bring your car in there. That means that you have to park outside the city and walk. So if you're going to have to park your car that far away, you might as well not have one if you don't need to have one. It's just, another added expense. Um, we we shopped at the supermarket when we went shopping at supermarkets, and we would buy water, because water is very inexpensive to buy in the bottle. Not that the water is bad. The water we found in Italy was very good. They don't want people to use as much bottled water, but we were cooking with it and boiling pasta in it and cooking with it, and we had absolutely no problem. But a lot of people like to buy bottled water, and we were buying bottled water. It's heavy, and we were carrying that home with our groceries from the supermarket. Um, Everybody always looked at us. These people are crazy. They're carrying water from all the way from from the supermarket, but we didn't mind it. We said, yeah, it's a workout. Just add it to our daily workout of things to do. Go to the gym, come home, go to the supermarket, carry all that heavy water and groceries home, and then we're good to go. But yeah, we had no problem doing that. And there's so many around that you're really not stuck. You don't have to walk a mile to the supermarket. They're really very, very close to, especially if you're in the centro of the towns. There's super little markets all over the place. So if we don't feel like going to a big supermarket or a big-ish supermarket, we have a little tiny market that's right around the corner that I can go and get emergency things if I need to. And that's another important thing to know when you're buying someplace, or if you plan on renting somewhere for an extended period of time and you won't have a car. Are there places nearby to shop? And we actually planned that out before we bought our house. We knew that where it was going to be. When we talked to Davide and I said, where is this house? Show me on the map, because I don't know. I can't find the streets. And he said, it's not a main street. So he said, here it is. And then I searched all around there to see what's nearby. Are there clothing stores nearby? Is there a grocery nearby? Is there bakery nearby? Is there a lot of things close by? Or is it near a busy area that I might not want to be in? And we planned it that way because we did purchase remotely, but I kind of did a little research on my own to make sure that, yes, stuff is close by and I won't have to get in a car, and have to drive to a grocery store and do those things. Pharmacies too, a lot of them are around. We found a favorite pharmacy that we did frequent, and then they get to know us. And every time we go in, we say hello, and it's nice, you build that relationship. But even when we moved from our apartment to the house, we still went to the other pharmacy that we liked because, everybody there was nice and they got to know us. And that's important, I think, to start building those little relationships in the community. And, they know that. Then when you see them in other places, they recognize you and say hello, and then it feels nice, become part of the family, the town family that they have there. So I hope that this helped you give you a little insight on purchasing a car, because I know a lot of people are thinking about that. That was something that we were worried about. And coming from the US, you have to have a car. You can't, there's no way. I mean, like I said, unless you live in a city, you have to have one. You won't be able to go anywhere because everything is so far away. When we were in Florida, we were at least 2 miles from the closest grocery store. So yeah, you could walk there, but it's 98 degrees and 100% humidity. I'm not walking to the supermarket. You definitely need a car. And by the time you bring those groceries home, everything would be spoiled. It was just that hot in Florida, right? So if you know that you are going to want to stay in Italy for an extended amount of time, choose where you want to live. And if you don't have to have a car, I mean, because cars are very expensive to rent. If you want to rent a car for months, at a time, I'm sure that you could do that, but that's a huge cost. Or find some place that that if you're in a pinch, you can just go to a local store and get things that you need without having to rely on a car or have to worry about taking some kind of transportation. So again, I hope that this video helped you. If you have any questions, please put them down below in the comments. I try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Click on the like and subscribe. And thank you again to all of our members that are joining the channel. It really helps us out and helps us get on the right path. We can spend more time doing this content that can help you. So thank you again. I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Ciao.